Yinzers, welcome into Steelers Talk Live. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. We are coming to you here from Dallas, Texas, here from Chat Sports Studios. Thank you for joining us to talk some Steelers football today. I'm going to welcome in the lovely Jeremy Chuggs, who joins me from the producer chair. Jeremy, how has your week been going? Are you ready to get going with some Steelers football talk?
Oh, I am ready. I'm ready to get some Steelers talk in, and my week's been good. I've had a great week. I think Passover starting tonight, and I think I told you today I did the impossible. I got tickets to see Adele.
Yeah, so Jeremy Chuggs is the biggest Adele fan here at Chat Sports Studios. He just got tickets to go see her in Vegas in August. We're all very pumped up for him.
Never mind, I will find
someone like you. All right, guys, if you hate the Cleveland Browns, go ahead, type FCLE in the comments section here in the chat. We are going to give some shout-outs here, so if you want to shout out, go ahead, type F Cleveland in the chat. We got Chris Manifold. Thank you so much, dude. Strick Pitt, 79. We got Victory Asher. Welcome to the show. Luke Braille's in the chat. Mimit Trazer 235 is in the chat.
Let's go.
We got Awesome Abraham in the chat. Some new names that I'm seeing in here, so that's awesome, man. Welcome to the show. To anybody that's new, make sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Steelers. Here we go.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. F the Browns. F the Browns. F the Browns. F the Browns. All right, Damian Roy's in the chat.
FPD.
Gary Reynolds is in the chat. Gary.
And Cassie.
Oh,
Cassie's in the chat.
Where? I don't see her.
Cassie Voth.
It's both. It's both. You do not want to get that wrong, all right? Last time said Voth on the chat, and man, I got a talking to when I got home, man. Welcome to the show, babe.
Heard you had a great dinner the other night.
Yes, I had a great dinner the other night. All right, we got David King in the chat, says F Cleveland. Matt Hyde says F Cleveland. Trey Robertson, welcome to the chat, my friend. We got Leon Larkin, David King, Braylon, Steve Young, Gary again, man. Get those F Clevelands in the chat. Today, we got a great show lined up for you. We're going to be going over the latest Steelers news and rumors. The Steelers made actually a hire, an offensive coach, an offensive assistant. We're going to be getting into him in just a second. And then later in the show, I'm going to be breaking down my Steelers trade candidates. I have 4 players that I think could be dealt to other teams before the NFL draft or during the NFL draft for that matter. And then we got a Steelers live mailbag coming up here in just a second. You got to make sure that you put hashtag Steelers along with your questions or super chat in order to get on the mailbag. It's very crucial so Chuggs can find your comments. Let me ask you something, Chuggs. Is this a make or break season for offensive coordinator Matt Canada? Get Y for yes and for no in the chat.
I mean, I think it's got to be. We talked about his job being on the line last season.
And yeah, a lot of people are upset that he still has a job.
Turned it around towards the end of last year, but I mean, you got to think year 2, Kenny Pickett. They want the offensive coordinator to have chemistry with Kenny Pickett, but at the same time, they don't want to ruin Kenny Pickett's young career if they don't think that offensive coordinator is right for him.
Yeah, if Kenny Pickett gets off to a slow start, if this offense continues to sputter like it has over the last couple of years, Matt Canada's probably gone mid-season.
Yeah.
I mean, they just hired Glenn Thomas, former offensive coordinator from Arizona State, the Sun Devils, And they're bringing him in. And
forks up.
And he's kind of got that run and shoot kind of offense that they're trying to do. Power run game. He was kind of a Mike Mularkey disciple all the way back in the day. And, I mean, Mike Mularkey was big time. Power run football, then deep shots down the field.
Steve Young says Canada Dry.
Canada Dry is very right. That was the nickname for the Steelers offense last year. Canada Dry. That's awesome. Who had that comment?
Steve Young.
Steve Young, man. Good one, Steve.
Let's see. Anthony King Yinzer.
Oh my gosh, the king is in the chat. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Welcome to the chat, Anthony.
Not
Yinzer,
Webb's
man.
World.
What's up?
Our other guy, not Webb's World.
Not Webb's World, man. What's up, dude? He's always in the chat. Get those super chats in, fellas. We're going to have a great time here on Steelers Talk Live.
Speaking of two of the OG super chatters on the show, we've got something special for you.
Oh, we do.
Barry's got something special cooked up for you today.
We got a raffle today, guys. Let's go! All right, so we got this sign here. We've been putting names on this sign here the last couple of weeks, the Steelers Talk Live sign. The real one sign is what we're calling it. Somebody's going to walk away with this today. If you want a chance to win this sign, $5 is going to buy you a ticket. $10 is going to get you 3 tickets, and $20 in super chat is going to get you 8 tickets. All right, and any super chat whatsoever is going to get your name on the sign. So get those super chats in. We're going to have a great day today, guys, and we're trying to beat the Browns report because last week they had $167 in super chat revenue. Okay, and we know that here at Steelers Talk, we don't lose to the Browns. Plain and simply, it just doesn't happen. F the Browns. We're going to double it. My goal is to double this today, guys. I want to absolutely bury the Browns report today on Steelers Talk Live. 167 to beat them. And if you want a chance to win this Steelers Talk Live sign, go ahead and put in your... His Highness himself kicking us off here, getting the party started. Anthony Fuller with a $20 super chat. And that's 8 tickets for His Highness, man. And Anthony...
I just put in your tickets.
Anthony, your name is right here. You already got your name on the sign. So
8
appreciate
tickets
you, my guy.
For the king.
So we got 8 slots for His Highness King Yinzer, Anthony Fuller. Appreciate you, my guy. We are not worthy. We're not worthy. All right, man. Okay, so like I said, guys, we're trying to beat the Browns report today. 167 is that number to get to. Help us win this super chat battle today, and maybe you'll walk away with the Steelers live sign, which would be absolutely fantastic. If you have a Steelers man cave or just put it in your room, it'd be a great addition with all of these awesome Yinzer signatures on there. That'd be absolutely amazing. So second topic here in our little build-up here. Name a Steeler that you think gets traded this year. It could be nobody. It could be somebody that you think will get traded. It could be Trubisky. It could be whoever you want. For me, let's go. We're getting the party started, man. We got DRB 209 with a $10 super chat. Let's go.
Not only is it a $10 super chat from DRB 209, but that's also his first ever super chat on the show.
Oh, welcome to the show, DRB. Let's go, my guy. First time super chatter. We're gonna get a special sticker up for you right now, DRB. There we go. We got that first time super chat sticker for DRB. Welcome to Steelers Talk Live, my guy. You now have 3 raffle tickets to win that Steelers Talk Live sign, the real one signed today. Appreciate it, my guy. So getting back to the Steeler that I would want to see traded. Kevin Dotson's at the top of my list. Now, it's a little spoiler for
Damien says trade Canada.
I would trade if some sucker would be willing to take him. I would
Canada for a 6.
I would trade him to the Canadian Football League
for a 6.
I would trade him to the Canadian Football League for a 16-ounce bottle of maple syrup. That's what he is worth right now.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of Matt Canada, man. Like, I think that I'm gonna try to stay positive. I think the Steelers are gonna have a good year next year. They're gonna have a good roster, but man, Canada, his offense kind of blows.
Canada dry.
It's Canada dry, and that's a perfect that's a perfect descriptor for his offense because it's so old school, it's so bland and predictable and boring.
Steve says no way you're getting a 16-ounce bottle for him.
Oh, I mean, that might be pushing it, Steve. I'm not going to lie. Maybe an 8-ounce bottle? Maybe just send him over there. Just send him with a backpack, have him go through the wilderness, have the Mounties find him. I don't know, man.
Before we start, I did notice 105 people watching. We only have 18 likes so far.
Oh my gosh, man. We got this awesome promotion for you guys today. Every 20 likes we get on the show today, Chuggs and I are going to play Chubby Bunny with these yellow Peeps, yellow for Steelers. All right, and these things
gold.
These things are pretty big.
They're gold.
Oh yeah, yes, they're gold. That's right, black and gold. And the thing with Peeps, guys, the thing with Chubby Bunny, if you guys aren't familiar with Chubby Bunny, it's when you put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny, and you do that as many times as you possibly can. Every 20 likes we get on this video, we are going to add another Peep to the total. Jeremy and I are both going to be playing Chubby Bunny at the end of today's live stream. And, I was going through these Peeps, Chuggs.
Yeah.
They're bigger than I remember. I haven't had a Peep in forever.
What she said.
Yes, that's what she said. Very good, Chuggs. And, if we get up to 200 likes, 10 of these things it's going to be tough. That's going to be something. Oh, we got a $10 super chat from my man, Jordan Messenger. I think it's his first time super chatting, too. I think that's a new name here.
Let's go.
Do we have that? Do we have his super chat here? Let's go, my guy. Welcome to the show, Jordy. You got 3 raffle tickets to win this Steelers Talk Live sign. Appreciate it, my dude. If you want more, go ahead and super chat more, my friend. We're gonna rack this up as many times as you can. If you want to send in a 50, we'll give you even more tickets. If you want to send in 100, we'll give you even more tickets.
Even more.
And you know what, guys? Here's what I'm gonna say today. I was telling Chuggs this before the stream. If we hit our super chat record today, which would be 1.3K, I will do a water boot. Okay, and people that were here last week know I do not want to do a boot at all. I have never done a boot here at Chat Sports before. I don't drink alcohol. It'd be water boot. But, if you guys want to get it up there, 1.3K, I will do a water boot for you guys. Ooh. That will be worth it for me. So get those super chats in throughout the show. And also, if you want a question on the Steelers Talk Live mailbag later, you can include your question along with a super chat. Because not only will you get raffle tickets to win the Steelers Talk Live sign, but you get to skip the line and get your question right at the top of today's mailbag. Chuggs, tell them what to do.
You got to use hashtag Steelers in your comments.
Hashtag Steelers.
I've already seen people doing it, like Joey Wild Goose. He's using hashtag Steelers. DJ KJ is using hashtag Steelers. Mimic Tarzier 235. They already know what's up. They're using hashtag Steelers.
They already know what's up, man.
And like Sperry said, you could double down. You could super chat and ask a question just like Not Webb's World.
There we go. Not Webb's World getting in the chat. What's up, my guy? One of the real ones here at Chat Sports, Not Webb's World. He's always in the chat. He's always super chatting. He brings the heat every single week with a $10 super chat. 3 slots to win that Steelers Talk Live sign today in today's raffle. Here's what he has to say. They need to trade Deontay Johnson and next year's second for that left tackle and then draft Addison with the 17 because honestly, Branch can be picked up at 32. If he's gone, draft Darnell Washington, then draft for defense. And now Webb's World, I think this is a pretty solid plan. I don't think this is a bad plan whatsoever.
I like it, and because this is the first super chat with a question, we're going to lead off our mailbag with this one.
Yes, you are going to be the first question on today's mailbag, so I won't officially react to this until the mailbag, Not Webb's World, but that's a great question. Gary, what's up, my guy? Getting in there with a $5 super chat.
And you know what, Gary? I'm going to put your daughter's name in the raffle for you as well.
All right, yeah. Well,
because he's saying, my daughter wants a name chant for her name, Nona. 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 Let's go!
Welcome
Spam Nona in the comments. Let's go!
Nona. Get those Nonas in the chat. Oh, my goodness.
Woo!
Welcome to the show, Nona. Welcome to the show,
Sperry,
Gary.
can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair? Woo!
All right. Getting those super chats in already. We're already at $55 in super chat revenue. We're just over $100 away from beating the crap out of the Browns Report live show from last week. Get those super chats in to get your questions on today's show, as well as if you don't have money to super chat, that's okay. We still appreciate you here at Steelers Talk. Use hashtag Steelers to get your question in the running for today's Steelers Talk mailbag, which is going to be coming later on in the show as well today. I'm going to be talking about the latest Steelers news and rumors. The Steelers hired a new coach today. Could this mean the end for Matt Canada? I'll tell you in just a second. And then also I have 4 players that could be traded, 4 Steelers players that could be traded before the NFL draft. It's going to be a great show, man.
Just a reminder, if you do super chat during one of our segments, we're going to get to it right after the segment's over. First segment.
So get those super chats ready. Send them during this first segment here. We're going to get to them at the end of the segment. You got something to say, Chuggs?
I do have something to say.
Oh, what's up?
This first segment, Steelers rumors, spicy.
It's pretty spicy.
And we know about spicy because one of our coworkers ate the spiciest gummy bear in the world yesterday.
And before you ask, no, I'm not doing it, okay? I'm not. I saw what Mitch had to go through yesterday. He ate the hottest gummy bear in the world. It's like whatever units they use to determine heat. It was like
Scoville.
9 million, which is 900 times hotter than a jalapeno. Okay, and I was at the Dallas Stockyards, Fort Worth Stockyards this weekend. I saw a gum that was 16 million. So 7 million hotter than the thing that Mitch ate yesterday. Absolutely insane. What's the hottest thing that you have ever eaten? Let me know in the comments section. But we're going to get into this first segment here. Latest Steelers, rumors, news, all that good stuff. Are you ready to go here, Chuggs? All right, let's get into it. Welcome into Steelers Talkians. My name is Jack Sperry. Today we are going to be covering the latest news and rumors surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be a great show. We got a bunch of great stuff lined up for you. But first, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We are now the fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube, and that is for a reason. We have interactive live shows every single week. We got incredible NFL draft analysis every single day. Every time the Steelers make a move in free agency, we're going to have a video for you. So we got a bunch of great stuff here on the channel. If you love the black and gold, you love the Steelers, go ahead and do me a favor, click that subscribe button for me right now. So now moving on here, this is what we're going to be talking about on today's show. We got some draft rumors for you, but first we're going to be talking about an offensive assistant that the Steelers hired. His name is Glenn Thomas, okay? He was the offensive coordinator from the Arizona State Sun Devils last season. He's bounced around college and pro football, but he's somebody that's held in pretty high regard in NFL and NCAA circles. Now, his offensive philosophy is more run and shoot, power run game mixed with the deep passing game. He learned under Mike Mularkey when he was actually with the Pittsburgh Steelers, power run game, that classic ground and pound with Jerome Bettis. This guy was there, and then he's known as a great teacher, especially for young quarterbacks. So that's great to have him in the building for Kenny Pickett. And then he's held in pretty high regard by NFL head coaches around the league. Some former NFL coaches that he's worked for, Mike Smith, Dirk Cutter, Matt Rule. This guy is somebody that is seen as a really good teacher and somebody that is going to be a good fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's a good hire. I think that this guy is a smart individual, and I really think that the most important thing for a coach in the National Football League is that you can communicate your message to your players in an effective manner. Everything that I have heard about this guy, Thomas, I think that he's got it. I think that he'd be a really good offensive assistant to help out Matt Canada. He has experience running this type of run scheme that the Steelers are implementing. And the big question now is, could Thomas be in line to replace Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator if Canada sucks this next year? I mean, we know the last couple years years under Matt Canada, this Steelers offense has not been maybe what it could be. And right now they're bringing him back because they want to keep that consistency for Kenny Pickett heading into his second year. But man, if this offense sputters out of the gate, I wouldn't mind whatsoever to replace Canada with this guy Thomas that really has a track record. He's called plays before. I think he's a good football mind. So let me know in the comments section. Will Glenn Thomas replace Matt Canada as the Steelers offensive coordinator? Type Y if you think yes, or type N if you think no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break here on the show, just go ahead, go into the comment section, take advantage of that time by answering today's question. So now let's get into some draft rumors here. Of course, top 30 visits are happening. All these different hullabaloo is going around the NFL draft right now. And there's some rumors going around about Brian Branch and how he is falling down NFL draft boards. Like just a couple weeks ago, Brian Branch was considered potentially a top 20 pick in the National Football League draft. And now some people think he could be available for the Steelers at number 32. So you might be asking, well, how can somebody fall that drastically in just a couple of weeks? Well, when he was at the Combine, he just didn't test very well. You take a look at his RAS, relative athletic score. None of these are very good, right? He's kind of a smaller guy, right? You look at that composite size grade, it is poor. So usually NFL scouts, if you're in the red in that category, you better be in the green in the other categories. And he was just good. He wasn't great in any other category. He didn't run a very great 40 time at 4.58, and then the composite explosion grade is just good as well. So, I'm looking at Brian Branch, and I'm less concerned than some of the other pundits are. I think he's still a really, really good football player. I think that maybe he might not be able to do the amount of things that maybe we thought he could do coming out. Like maybe he can't play outside corner. Maybe he can't play free safety. But man, I still think that this guy is a damn good player. And if you draft him at the bare minimum, you're getting a really good nickel corner, in my opinion. And it looks like that Brian Branch could be there now at number 32. And then the big question then is, do the Steelers take him at number 32? I think he's a versatile weapon that you can use on defense. Put him next to Minkah Fitzpatrick. With this 3 safety package that the Steelers have been implementing lately, especially towards the end of 2022, Branch could be a very versatile and valuable piece for the Steelers defense. So he could be there at number 32. And if he does, something tells me the Steelers are going to heavily consider it. So if you want to be wearing the same exact headgear as maybe Brian Branch on draft night, you can go to our website and buy some of these awesome Steelers draft hats. Look at these hats, man. They got that nice stone color this year with the gold lettering, logo in the middle. I think this year's hat looks the best out of at least the last couple of years. I didn't really like last year's hats, but man, this year's is awesome. And right now, they are on sale right now on the Steelers or on the Chat Sports website, chatsports.com/Steelers draft hat. Personally, I really like this black and gold one. I think I'm going to get this black and gold one myself for whenever we go live during the NFL draft, whether it be day 1 or day 2. I think we're going to have a live stream during that week. I'm probably going to get that hat to wear on the stream then. But man, we got curve bills, you got snapbacks, you got flat bills. We got what you want, but let me tell you guys, these things go fast. Right now, some of these items are really getting close to selling out. So if you want to get the one that you want, you have to go to chatsports.com/Steelers draft hat to get your Steelers draft hat today. So now the Pittsburgh Steelers have officially brought in a quarterback on a top 30 visit. Clayton Tune from Houston visits the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's probably going to be a day 3 guy. So this is by no means a move to replace Kenny Pickett. But right now you got Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky on the roster. You might be looking to add a third quarterback to the roster via maybe even like round 7 in the draft. Clayton Tune would probably be there. His pros is that he's got good size, 6'2", 220 pounds. He's a plus runner. He's an athletic dude. He's got good arm strength, maybe not great arm strength. It's an NFL arm, and then he plays with good base. And what that means is he doesn't bring his feet together. He plays with his feet apart at all times. He does a good job of that. And what that does is that increases accuracy and consistency. So he's good on that. But his cons are pocket presence. He likes to leave clean pockets. You give him about 2 seconds, and then he usually tries to escape the pocket. Another pro of his, by the way, is that he's actually a pretty darn good playmaker and thrower on the run. But man, from within the pocket, the mental processing isn't all that great. He doesn't see the middle of the field too well, despite being 6'2", which concerns me quite a bit. And then he puts the ball in harm's way with his decision-making. 10 interceptions last year, which isn't ideal. But Clayton Tune, man, he's somebody that the Steelers could definitely look at to be a backup option for them in the years to come. Day 3 is what he's going to be worth, in my opinion. He's going to be a toolsy-type backup quarterback in the National Football League. He might end up just being a straight-up bust. He might be out of the league in 3 years, or he might just end up being a pretty darn good backup. But he's a toolsy guy, athletic guy, pretty good arm. I think he's going to be a decent prospect, a decent pickup for a team in round 7 or round 6. And like I said, guys, this is not a move to replace Kenny Pickett whatsoever. Like, if the Steelers take a quarterback late in the draft, probably round 7, it's just to add to the quarterback room, see if they can inject some youth here and maybe not pay their backup quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, over $10 million, which is what they're currently on the hook for right now. If they can find a pretty darn good backup quarterback and he's good enough to be the backup for Kenny Pickett, I should say, in 2023. They might just end up cutting Mitchell Trubisky to save some cap room next season. So let me know in the comments section right now. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers draft a quarterback in this year's NFL draft? Type D if you think draft, or type P if you think pass. So before we wrap things up here, one last thing. Bleacher Report has released a list of their top 3 first-round draft targets to help Kenny Pickett specifically. So the other day, we went over, I think it was Steeler Nation's list of the top 3 first-round draft prospects. I wasn't a huge fan of that list. Let's see if this list is any better. Number 1 on their list is Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, and this one is number 1 on my list as well. I think Broderick Jones is that guy that the Steelers need to be targeting because I think he's a great fit for what they're trying to do. They're trying to shift to more of a power running game this year as opposed to more zone, what they've run the last couple of years. They shifted to more power in the second half of the year last year. Really seemed to work. Broderick Jones is the best power blocker in this year's draft, in my opinion, at least at the offensive tackle position. 0 sacks allowed in the SEC last year. Can get on his toes a bit at times. His hand placement can be inconsistent at times, but I think he's a day 1 starting left tackle in the National Football League. I think he's absolutely worth targeting if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you got Darnell Wright, another offensive tackle prospect here. Probably a right tackle or a guard. Maybe he could move over to the left side, but that's a question mark. He played right tackle at the University of Tennessee. I think he's going to be one heck of a player no matter where he plays. I think that he's pretty much bust-proof. He's either going to be a really good tackle or he's going to be a really good guard. But the question is for Pittsburgh is, can he play left tackle? I think if there's one player on this offensive line that the Steelers can replace, it's Dan Moore Jr. at left tackle. I want somebody like a Broderick Jones or maybe a Paris Johnson Jr. or a Peter Skoronski that has success on the left side. Darnell Wright, although he does have some nice upside, I'm a little bit worried about him moving over to the left side because he hasn't had success there in the past. If he's available at 32, maybe I would take him, but at number 17, that might be a little bit rich for me. Then a little bit of a surprise here. Bleacher Report says Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Boston College, should be on the Steelers' list of guys to add to this roster alongside Kenny Pickett. And listen, guys, I love Zay Flowers. My comp for him, and some people call me crazy on this, is Antonio Brown. Okay, 5'10", 172 pounds. I mean, he's the same height, just a little bit lighter than Antonio was coming out of Central Michigan. But man, when this guy is on the field, he just looks like he's on skates and everybody else is running. This guy is an incredibly smooth athlete. He is fast. He is a great route runner. He's got really good body control as well, which you don't really see with a lot of these smaller receivers. I think he's probably going to be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL one day. I think he's that good. I'm that much of a believer in him. And when it's all said and done, he might be the number 1 wide receiver on my board when I'm all done with it. But I mean, Jordan Addison and Jackson Smith-Njigba are also great in their own right. I really like Zay Flowers. If the Steelers added him, I would be one happy camper, as long as it doesn't get in the way of getting a left tackle. But I think that if it's going to be anybody, if it's going to be a wide receiver, it'll probably be Jordan Addison, just because of that connection with Kenny Pickett. But hey, if they took Zay Flowers, I wouldn't mind it one bit, because I think he is one damn good football player. All right, so now go follow me on Twitter here at Jack_Sperry for additional Steelers news and rumors content. I announce special announcements for Steelers Talk and Steelers Talk Live up on my Twitter. So if you want that additional content, go ahead, follow me on Twitter at Jack_Sperry. All right, man. So I saw on my screen that we got a couple more super chats.
We did.
We're starting to get it going here.
And before we get to that, I want to know first of all, I also saw another comment. When are we doing Twitter shout-outs? At the
At
very
the end of the
show.
video. Yes, we should have mentioned that in the beginning. If you followed me on Twitter, you're looking for a Twitter shout out that you're looking for, we're going to be doing that at the end of the show today. So make sure you stick around for that shout out. So what is the best type of pizza for you, Mr. Jeremy Chuggs? Let me know.
You know, I actually have never had traditional deep dish pizza.
You've never had it?
No.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
No.
Why? It's an awesome city.
I don't know. I've never had it, but I gotta say, maybe an unpopular opinion. I don't know if it's the best, but I love a barbecue chicken pizza.
You're kidding, right?
Is that a cop move?
That's a cop move. In my opinion, it is. I don't like barbecue chicken pizza. Like, for me, so Tyler Jones, our Ravens host here, he hates people that have cheese pizza. Whenever we get pizza here at the office, Tyler Jones is screaming, "Nobody get cheese! No, we're not going to get cheese pizza. No, we can't get cheese pizza. Why not? It's the most eaten it's the most eaten type of pizza in the world. Like, why can't we have cheese pizza? I don't get what. Like, is it just something where it's like only kids eat it? Is that kind of the thing, or
maybe,
what is the deal? Yeah, I see cheese stuffed crust in there.
Strict fit. I might be a double cop with this move. I love bacon and pineapple pizza. Maybe another cop move, but
Chuggs, you're weird, man. You're barbecue chicken.
Chris Cole, my guy, let's go.
All right, man. You guys can go ahead and have your barbecue chicken.
It's good. Have you had it?
I've never. I can't knock it till I try.
Oh,
I can't knock it till I try it.
It's good.
We're gonna have to have some barbecue chicken pizza.
I want to try a New York slice.
New York from Sbarro?
From Sbarro.
Office reference if anybody is confused in the chat, man. I saw Cassie Voth was in the chat saying cheese stuffed crust. I absolutely agree with that. Stuffed crust is delicious. I'm sorry. All right, let's get to some super chats here. $10 from King Confidence. What's up, my dude? He goes, the King is in the building. No questions, just showing love to the Steelers family and nation. King Confidence, you are a real one, my friend. And you have, what, 8 slots to win this Steelers Talk Live sign today?
3.
Oh, yeah, 3. Yeah, you have 3 slots. 20 is the 8. That's right.
But
all right,
you know who bought themselves 3 more slots?
Who?
That would be Jordy.
Jordy, you getting back in there, my friend? What's up, my guy? All right, first time super chatter, doubles up here. Am I the only Steelers fan banging the table with Kenny Pickett to draft Jordan Addison? I understand we need help on the O-line, but there's only one Addison. Scoring is the biggest problem. You know, I think that this is a really good question for today's mailbag, Jeremy Chuggs. That's what I think.
We have some good questions for the mailbag already.
Yeah, we already do. And now Webb's World again coming in with a question. Now Webb's World is one of our MVPs here on Steelers Talk Live. He has to say Fitz doesn't like to play the box and likes to be a ball hawk, and Branch loves to play in the box and doesn't have the range to play deep. It's a match made in heaven. Branch just got to hit the weights. Yeah, and he could probably get a little bit faster, 4.58, not fantastic. That's not necessarily slow, but I think that he's a very efficient mover on tape too. So yeah. I think when it comes to football speed, he's pretty darn fast as opposed to like pure straight line speed. Mm-hmm. I really like Brian Branch. If he makes it to number 32 with the Steelers' need at strong safety, I think you might have to take him.
And this is actually perfect because we are exactly halfway there.
We're halfway there.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand and we'll make it, I swear.
Oh, living on a prayer.
Living on a prayer.
All right, so like we said, guys, if you missed the earlier part of the show, we got the Steelers Talk Real One sign right here. And any super chat's going to get your name on the sign. $5, you win 1 raffle ticket to potentially win this sign. $10 will get you 3 more tickets. $20 will get you 8 tickets. And if you want to spend more than 20, we'll give you even more tickets.
Speaking of that, did you put DRB and Jordy on the sign?
Oh, I didn't. Good job, Chuggs.
And Nona.
All right, so who do I have to add here?
DRB 209.
DRB 209. Who else?
Jordy Massengill.
How do you spell Massengill?
Massengill.
And then who else?
And then Nona, Nona Reynolds, Reynolds. And then King Confidence, I think, is on there.
Let me see. King Confidence. No, King Confidence is not on there.
Oh, okay.
No, he is. He is. Never mind.
I was like, I swear, Austin. He's asking what the raffle's for. Why don't you show him what we're raffling off today?
Yeah, so we got this awesome Steelers talk. You want to put me full screen here, Chuck, so you can show the people? We got this sign that we've been writing names of all of the Yinzers here in the chat here last couple weeks. We're starting to fill up. Okay, if you can put in a $20 or more, you're going to get one in the middle here. All right, you're going to get one in the black ink in the middle of the logo. Anything less than that, you'll get your name on the side here on the outsides.
James said the raffle is for Siaki Ika.
The Hawaiian mountain.
Yeah.
I mean, he visited the Steelers. He's visiting the Steelers. Official top 30 visit.
Hey.
I wouldn't mind him as a... Oh! Austin Tardif coming in here. One of our MVPs here on Steelers Talk Live. Austin Tardif with a $20 super chat.
8 tickets for Austin.
That's 8. Let's go. Let's rack up that wheel. Remember that wheel that we did for the Pickett raffle the other week, guys? We're bringing that back. Let's try to fill that up as much as we can here. We're at $104 in super chat revenue, which means that we're less than 60, but we're about $60 away from beating Browns Report by Chat Sports. They got $167 in super chat revenue last week. We're trying to beat that today. Let's get this party started. Austin getting in with his first 20. Austin, get in the chat right now. I want to know, did you get your Steelers mini helmet? I want to know.
Let's go. Hey, yeah, Damian, Doo-Doo Browns. Let's go.
Doo-Doo Browns, man. What a terrible franchise. Guys, we cannot lose to the Browns Report. We just can't. We're the Steelers Talk. We control this division.
Young, noticeable. I would show the wheel, but I'm going to put all the names on the wheel at once, so it's actually empty right now.
Yeah, okay. So
I have all the names in a notes app, and then I'm going to convert the notes app.
All right, so Tardif, so Austin has said that he hasn't gotten his mini helmet yet. It's going to be coming here pretty soon. We sent it out, I think, last weekend is when we shipped it out. So it should be coming here pretty soon here, Austin. Make sure to send me a picture once you get that. Appreciate the $20 super chat, my dude. We're getting this party started.
And then one more reminder, #Steelers or super chat to get on the show.
Yep.
And then the last thing I realized, Sperry.
What's up?
Last thing I realized, 140 people watching. We still only have 60 likes.
Oh my gosh, guys. We got these peeps, all right? Every 20 likes we got only 61 in the chat right now. Every 20 likes that we get, we are adding 1 peep to the total, and we're going to be playing Chubby Bunny at the end of the show. All right, so if you want to rack up those peeps or whatever they're called, get those likes in there. We got 140 people in the chat, only 62 likes. We got to get that up to at least 80 here before we start this mailbag.
Let's
all right,
go.
Let's get to 80. All right, if you're in the chat, it's a free and easy way to just support the channel.
And if you've already liked the video, just type like in the chat so we know who the real ones are.
Yeah, type like in the chat if you've already liked the video.
I want to know who the
real ones are. I want to know who the real Steelers fans are in the chat. All right, let me know in the chat right now. Type like if you have already liked the video.
DJ KJ,
he's a real one. Wyatt D is a real one. Jordy Massengill, Tyler Wallace, Chris Cole, Damian Roy, Chris Manifold, Mimic Trazer, Caleb, Zach, Kevin Darby, Luke, Young Noticeable, Anthony Fuller, Damian Roy, Bradley Staley, Steve Young.
Oh, we are at 69 likes.
Oh, but now we got the 70. All right, guys, we got 9 more likes here. Come on, Young Noticeable and subscribed. He is a real one, man.
Let's go.
If you like the video and you're subscribed, man, you're a true friend of the show. We really appreciate you, man. We got 8 more likes before we can start this mailbag here. We got the questions lined up. We're doing a great job so far, guys. $104 in super chat revenue. We are raffling off this Steelers sign today. You could be walking away with an awesome piece of Steelers Talk memorabilia. Get those super chats in, guys. We got to beat the Browns today. I don't care what happens today. We got to beat the Browns.
And we are
Come on, 2 more. We got 132 people. Like? We got 132 people.
Who's going to be the last like?
You know what? I'm going to say this, man. If you're watching this show right now and you haven't liked the video, you're a huge Ravens fan. You are a huge Ravens fan.
Oh, wow.
All right, before we start here, we got a $5 super chat, another raffle ticket for Not Webb's World.
Let's go.
Not Webb's World's been getting busy, man. I think he's got 3 super chats already getting in the party. Appreciate you, my guy.
Pause.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Not Webb's World getting busy.
He's getting busy, man. All right, so let's pop that on screen here for a second. Give him a nice shout out here. Not Webb's World, appreciate you, my guy. He says, Tui Pelotu, smack the taste out of a guy. I've never heard that one before. Smack the taste out of that guy at the combine and got a Pitt visit. Still funny to me. Also, DTR in 7th or Israel out of Pittsburgh.
And, hey, shout out to Donald Bathgate. He asked for a shout out. He's been commenting all live show.
Yeah, shout out to you, Donald Bathgate, my guy, man. Thank you for watching the show. Appreciate the support. Oh, and we got Austin Tardif again with a $2 super chat.
He said, Ravens fans?
Ravens fans, those are fighting words. Hey, man, if you don't like the video, then you're not a true friend of the show. What can I tell you, man? Like, you got to like the video. You got to do your part. All right? Liking that video is going to get this video out to even more Yinzers. All right? So,
you ready?
Oh, ready for the mailbag?
Let's do it.
I'm ready, man. Let's do it. Steelers fans, welcome in to Steelers Talk. I am your host, Jack Sperry. Today, I am answering your questions on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The draft is less than a month away. Free agency is in full swing. I'm going to be answering your questions in just a second. But first, if you're watching this and it's not Wednesday, that means that you missed the Steelers Talk Live show, and that's okay. If you still want to get your question on next week's Steelers Talk Live mailbag, you can get your question on via Super Thanks. So YouTube has this awesome new feature, or relatively new feature. It's called Super Thanks, and it lets you donate or super chat outside of videos. All you have to do is click that thanks icon. It's that heart with the money sign in the middle, and you can give any amount that you want. Get your question in there. We'll get your question on next week's show. We appreciate your support, and every single super thanks is going to get a shout out on Steelers Talk Live next week. All right, so now we're going to start with Not Webb's World here, who says they need to trade Deontay Johnson in next year's second for that left tackle and then draft Addison with the 17 because honestly, Branch can be picked up at 32. If he's gone, draft Darnell Washington, then draft for defense. I actually really like this idea, guys. I really like this idea of maybe trading Deontay Johnson if it's gonna happen. Now, first of all, good idea now, Webb's World, but it's probably not gonna happen. The Steelers love Deontay Johnson. They probably won't want to part with him unless DJ straight up asks for a trade. And if he hasn't done that by now, I don't see it happening here in the next couple of weeks. But just in a vacuum here, in an existence where we're playing Madden, do I trade Deontay Johnson in a second to go get Broderick Jones, let's say, in the top 10, or Paris Johnson Jr.? I might think about it. Now, Deontay Johnson, very crucial role in this offense. I really think that he is one of the best get-open receivers in the National Football League, one of the best route runners. But, in my opinion, he's not a true number one guy. He doesn't have the body control. He doesn't have the hands. He's not as good in the red zone. He's very, very valuable on third down. I think he was maybe the most valuable offensive player for the Steelers on that second half surge that they had. But, if it means that I can get Paris Johnson Jr. or Broderick Jones and then maybe even draft Addison at number 17 to replace him, I think that's a pretty good plan, and that's something that I would at least consider. Next question comes from Jordy Massengill, who says, am I the only Steelers fan banging the table with Kenny Pickett to draft Jordan Addison? I understand we need help on the offensive line, but there's only one Addison. Scoring is the biggest problem. Now, I'm all in favor of going to get Addison personally. I just don't think it should be the number one priority. I think that if you can grab a left tackle like a Broderick Jones or a Paris Johnson Jr. or a Peter Skoronski, one of those three guys, if they're available, that should take precedence. Protecting Kenny Pickett is much more important right now than getting another weapon for him because you already have Deontay Johnson. You already have George Pickens. You already have Calvin Austin III that's coming back from injury. You already have Pat Freiermuth. You're going to have a potent run game next year, in my opinion. You don't need necessarily Jordan Addison, but if you can get Jordan Addison and, maybe you like trade it back up into the first round, like let's say you take Broderick Jones at 17 and then you trade back up at like maybe pick 23, 24, somewhere in that range, I would absolutely trade back into the first to go in and get a guy like Jordan Addison that already has great chemistry with Kenny Pickett, somebody that's a great route runner, somebody that would be a great Pittsburgh Steeler, in my opinion. I would certainly be in favor of bringing Jordan Addison to the Steelers. Next up here on the show, Hammerin' Dank says, I love the idea of drafting Keandre Miller or Devin Akane, I think is how you say, I can't remember how to say his name, in the late rounds of the draft. Now, I don't think that running back is going to be the move for the Steelers. You already have Najee Harris. You already have Jaylen Warren. You have a couple running backs on futures contracts, so you got that taken care of as well. I think that personally, running back is not going to be a move for the Steelers. Now, there are some really good running backs in this year's draft class, but I think that there are other needs that the Steelers could address in the later rounds. Quarterback, maybe outside linebacker, maybe even inside linebacker, maybe even offensive line. Who knows? I think they have other needs that they could fill. I think running back might be an undrafted free agency situation for the Steelers, but within the draft, I'm not too sure. So name somebody that is your favorite draft sleeper in this year's draft class. Get in the comments section right now. Let me know who is your favorite draft prospect that's getting slept on right now. Let me know who that is in the comments section. This is the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break here on the show, just go ahead, go into the comments section, find that pinned comment, and use that time by answering today's question. Next question comes from Zach Ward, one of the friends of the show, a real one, has been around for a while. Do you think Jalen Carter screwed up bad by only talking to working out for teams only in the top 10? Yes, 100%. It makes him look like a douche. And after his performance at his pro day, where he couldn't even finish because he was having cramps and he was tired. Like, are you really in a position where you're like, oh, I'm for sure going top 10? Like, I think that's a terrible move for Jalen Carter, and frankly, I think that move makes it more likely for him to fall outside the top 10 because people are going to be like, well, who's this kid thinking that he can dictate who he takes meetings with? I think it's a terrible decision. I think most of the decisions that Jalen Carter has made this offseason, frankly, have been poor ones. He did not have a good pro day. Actually, maybe even the worst pro day I've ever seen, to be frank with you. And I think that he's still going to go high. I still think he'll be in the top 10 somewhere. But yeah, I think that this is definitely a screw-up, the latest in a long line of screw-ups from one Jalen Carter. Then we got His Highness in the chat, Anthony Fuller, and he has to say, if both Kelly Ringo and Emmanuel Forbes are there at 49, who should the Steelers draft? This isn't even a decision for me, Anthony Fuller. This is Emmanuel Forbes. Okay, Kelly Ringo is somebody that scares the living daylights out of me. He's a straight line athlete. He's not like a quick twitch mover type of athlete. He can run fast and he's got a big body, but his hip fluidity is not existent. His short area quickness is not there, and because of that, on film, he can get lost against some of the better route runners that he faced. On the other hand, Emmanuel Forbes, he's a bit slender, but he's a really damn good corner, man. He can cover. He has a great nose for the football. He was tied for the FBS top rank in interceptions last year with, I think, 6. Like, this guy is a fantastic, fantastic corner. He needs to get a little bit bigger, right? But I think with Patrick Peterson on the roster, you got Levi Wallace and Ahkello Witherspoon to kind of hold down the fort. I think Emmanuel Forbes has time to kind of grow into his man body, and then once he does that, I think he could be a top 10 corner in this league. For me, this one's easy, Emmanuel Forbes at 49. Next question comes from Drake44, who says, honestly, I would rather have Zay Flowers if we go wide receiver rather than Jordan Addison. And I can see why you say that, because Zay Flowers, when it's all said and done, he could be the number 1 wide receiver on my board this year. He is that good. I compare him to Antonio Brown. I think that he is a fantastic, fantastic prospect and a future number 1 receiver in this year in the National Football League. The thing, though, is that the reason why I think it would be Jordan Addison and not Zay Flowers is because Jordan Addison has that established chemistry with Kenny Pickett. And that's something that Zay Flowers doesn't have, and that's not something that he can work on in this draft process to get better at, right? Jordan Addison has already had a bunch of reps with Kenny Pickett in practice, in games. That's something that Zay Flowers just can't make up for. And Jordan Addison in his own right is a fantastic receiver, really, really great route runner. I think Zay Flowers might be a little bit better than him in the aggregate, but when you take into account the chemistry that he has with Kenny Pickett, I think think I'd probably rather take Jordan Addison. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Zay Flowers or Jordan Addison, which one would you rather pick in the 2023 NFL Draft? Type ZF for Zay Flowers or JA for Jordan Addison. Next question comes from Damian Roy. And he says, what happened with Bud Dupree? So essentially, he came in last week to get like a medical check, a physical, which is what I said here on the show, and that seemed to be correct. Then he talked with some Steelers officials. Apparently, no contract details were discussed, and then he left. So that's about all we know right now. He could be in discussions with the Steelers. Maybe something happened in his physical that the Steelers didn't like. We don't know the answers to those questions right now, but all we know is he had a visit in Pittsburgh, and he left without a contract, which is a little bit odd for the Pittsburgh Steelers because they really don't have free agency visits all that often. And when they do, players usually leave with a contract. But Dupree leaving Pittsburgh, not a Pittsburgh Steeler, should maybe concern those of you out there that want Bud Dupree on the roster. But man, things are still going around. You know, the NFL free agency is not over. There's still some really good outside linebackers that are out there. I fully expect the Steelers to add somebody on the edge as a rotational edge rusher before free agency is over. Next question comes from JSkills23, and he says, what do Yins think about wide receiver Rashee Rice out of SMU? I really like Rashee Rice, man. I think that he is a technician route runner. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but man, he's one of the bigger receivers. In a draft class with a bunch of kind of like smaller, tiny receivers, Rashee Rice has got some nice size. I think he's probably going to be maybe a late round 2 kind of guy. For sure, a day 2 receiver. Really good player, but in my opinion, I just don't think he's going to be on the Steelers' radar. He's more of an outside receiver, and if they're going to keep Deontay Johnson on the roster, I really don't think they're going to be trying to add another receiver on the outside, at least that early in the NFL draft. Next question comes from DJV, who says, I'm interested on your take of Lamar to Pittsburgh. Obviously, it would never happen. Just want your opinion. Mine is not a chance. He's a running back who can't really throw. So I disagree with that last sentiment. I actually think that he's a severely underrated passer. I think that he is actually pretty darn good at throwing from within the pocket. I think that because he's so good with his legs that people think that, oh, that's the only reason why that he's good. I don't think that whatsoever. I think that he's actually pretty polished, and I think that he's one of the top 5 quarterback talents in the National Football League. Now, when it comes to him coming to Pittsburgh, like you said, it's never going to happen, but if I had an option to bring him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would say no. And here's why. I would not want to give up the 2 first-round picks in order to go get him, and then pretty much you just wasted that first-round pick with Kenny Pickett. Now, you could trade Pickett, but I want to give Pickett his fair shot here in Pittsburgh. I don't think this is something that the Steelers will be looking at, and for good reason. Kenny Pickett is your guy for 2023, and then evaluate the quarterback position after the next couple of years to see where Kenny Pickett lines up. Then you got Steve Young. We got a 49ers Hall of Famer in the chat. Let's go, Steve Young, who goes, who is the next Steelers player that the team will prioritize signing to an extension? This one's an interesting question. I would probably say Alex Highsmith. Alex Highsmith is a really darn good player, man, and he hasn't gotten a deal done yet. They've been saying for months at this point that they want to get a deal done. I think Alex wants to get paid like maybe even a top 5 edge rusher, and I think the Steelers want to pay him more like a top 15 pass rusher. So I think that there's a little bit of a divide there, but it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see them get a deal done here before the end of the offseason. All right, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, this is your chance because we have live mailbags every single week. If you want somebody to bounce your Steelers draft ideas with every single week, go ahead, click that subscribe button. We also have daily Steelers news and rumors videos, and we're the fastest growing Steelers channel here on YouTube, and that is for a reason. I promise you that if you click that subscribe button, the only regret that you're going to have is that you didn't subscribe sooner. Next question comes from Luke Mack, who says, move Cam or Ogunjobi to defensive tackle, and I think it's move Leal, and have Leal fill the gap. Okay, so here's the thing. Cam Hayward and Ogunjobi already pretty much played defensive tackle. So Cam plays that true defensive tackle role, that 3 technique. Larry Ogunjobi plays like a 3-4 defensive end role, that 5 technique. And right now the Steelers need to find a true nose tackle, 1 technique. And, although Leal has some nice versatility, I'm not sure if you want him in the direct center of your defense all year long. I just don't think he has the mass for that. I think that he'll probably get bullied around. And, I love his ability to go from that 5 technique to that 3 technique because he's one hell of an athlete. But 1 technique, I think the Steelers probably need to add somebody else to fill that role. Next question comes from DJ KJ, who says, why does every Steelers mock draft have us taking a tight end? Because they signed Zach Gentry to a 1-year deal, so they're definitely not super high on Zach Gentry. They like him, but they don't love him. The reason why people are taking tight end a ton is because they want the Steelers to draft a blocking tight end for the future. Because Matt Canada, Mike Tomlin, this Steelers team, they're shifting to more of a power run game. And really one of the core tenets of having a good power run game is having a tight end that can really move people in run blocking. And Zach Gentry's really, really good at that. He's a big body. But, he's not great as a receiver. He doesn't have great versatility. I think that they'd probably rather get a guy like Darnell Washington as somebody that's being mocked a ton to the Steelers. The guy from Iowa, Laporta, is getting a ton of buzz right now as well. I wouldn't mind if the Steelers took a tight end. I just don't want them to take one too early because I do like Zach Gentry. I think that he could fill that role quite nicely if he needed to. Next question comes from Young Noticeable 25. He says, trade Deontay Johnson to the Texans for pick 2 or 12, grab a corner, bring in Byron Jones at number 17, bring in Broderick Jones at 17, bring in D-Hop or Landry, Super Bowl bound. Now here's the thing, you're not getting number 2 overall for Deontay Johnson. I love the creativity there. You're not getting number 2. You might be able to get number 12 if you package Deontay Johnson with the 32nd overall draft pick. Maybe. And even then, the Texans might not take it because you have a really great opportunity if you're the Texans to draft a franchise-changing quarterback at number 2 and then get him a receiving weapon at number 12. Deontay Johnson, is he really worth that trade? I mean, Texans fans, I guess you can let us know in the comments if there's any of you in there. But to me, I think that'd be a pretty decent trade. And D-Hop, I kind of like this plan from Young Noticeable. I'm not going to lie. Bring in D-Hop. That contract pretty much cancels out the Deontay Hopkins or Deontay Johnson trade. Then you bring in Broderick Jones at 17. I don't hate that. I'm not going to say I hate that, Young Noticeable. I'm going to have to think about that. All right, so now go ahead and follow me on Twitter if you haven't already for additional Steelers news and rumors content. I got film analysis out there. I put my NFL mock drafts on there. If you want more Steelers stuff on there on Twitter, go ahead and follow me at Jack_Sperry. I put a bunch of updates on for the channel up there. I let you know special promotions that are coming up on Steelers Talk Live. So if you want that additional content, do me a favor, go to Twitter, go to at Jack_Sperry and click that follow button for me right now. All right, so we're going to be talking about this here, Chuggsy. So the Women's Basketball National Championship was the other night, and Angel Reese has been the talk of the town.
Drama!
Actually, the championship was actually held here in Dallas, Texas, and it's kind of the talk of the town here. Angel Reese was taunting the star of the tournament, Caitlin Clark, after LSU had essentially already won the title.
If you didn't see it,
she was doing like the pointing to the ring celebration. She was doing it in the face of Caitlin Clark.
In the face!
For probably a good 5 to 10 minutes when the game was pretty much over.
I would say 5 to 10 seconds.
Well, she was doing it at the free throw line too before this.
During the game. I was about to say, the most highly contested is the last 12 seconds of the game. Yeah, she was essentially chasing Caitlin Clark around the court.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has an issue with her doing this thing at the free throw line during the game, right? I don't think anybody has an issue with that. I think what some people have an issue with is, the taunting after she's already won.
Yeah.
And I can understand why some people are upset about that. Now, Caitlin Clark came out yesterday and said that she doesn't mind it. So, I don't want to get like offended for somebody that's not offended by what happened. So I think I'm fine with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to say she was in the right for it. because like that's kind of a crappy thing to do. But I don't think she was necessarily wrong either. Like,
yeah.
I think there's some gray here.
I think she was in the wrong.
I mean, that's a fair take. I mean, like, there's definitely a distinction between what Reese was doing and what Clark was doing to other opponents earlier in the tournament. Like, Clark would do it as like a celebration or whatever, but she wouldn't, like, after she's already won, like, rub it in their faces with it, you know?
And it's like, the one thing is, I wouldn't be as upset if Angel Reese just like owned it, was like, yeah, you know, like it was, you know, heat of the moment. I wanted to talk mess about her. You know, everybody's been talking about Caitlin Clark, But she was like,
screw you guys.
Well, like, no, she was like, well, Clark did it.
Yeah, and it's like,
it
wasn't exactly the same thing, man.
They're not apples. It's not, you're comparing apples to oranges in this case.
And by the way, if she does like the finger gesture and she's not looking directly at Caitlin Clark following her around, nobody has an issue with that.
Or if she does it as she's walking off the court. What I had a problem with was her circling Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she was like literally like targeting Clark specifically, and like I can't believe Clark kept her cool.
Well, and this is the other thing. I don't think it was, you know, I'm not on the fence of like where it's like Angel Reese should have any repercussions.
No.
I don't think she should get in trouble.
We're just talking about, is it a dick move or not? Like nobody's saying suspend her.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying fine her. Nobody is saying that stuff. But like, yeah, man. Like I think it was probably a dick move. She's the Chick Hicks of women's basketball.
She's the Lambier.
Yeah.
She's the Bill Lambier.
Yeah, she's the Bill Lambier. That's what it is.
Not Webb's World getting 3 more tickets.
Oh, not Webb's World. What's going on, my guy? He has been the MVP today, I think. He really wants that sign. He said, people said Primetime did something similar that Jalen Carter did, but forgot Dion ran unreal 40 numbers, always was in shape and didn't have 2 bodies on his head. But if he falls to 17, do we draft him? I think it kind of depends on who's on the board for the Steelers.
It's one of those things where it's like, if he's at 17 also, does that even make you more worried where you're like 16 other teams passed on it?
I would almost be more worried if he was there at 17, man. Like, here's the thing. On tape, he's a special talent. The last 2 years have been arguably the 2 best defenses in college football history, and he was the best player on both of them. Okay, he was better than the number 1 overall pick last year in Trayvon Walker by a mile. Like, this guy on tape is one of the best prospects I've ever evaluated. But you take into account the behavior issues. You take into account the speeding thing. You take into account all the stuff. The terrible, terrible pro day. Like, this guy might be coming into camp overweight.
Yeah.
This guy might be coming into rookie camp overweight and not able to perform all the stuff that you want him to. So, you know, I think that I mean, it's hard to pass on such a great player, but I think the Steelers should have a plan going into the night. We're going to try to get a left tackle, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get that tackle. And you know, if there's a tackle there at 17, you got to take him. I don't care if Jalen Carter's on the board.
I agree. And you know, Malcolm Hamilton, stick to football talk, please. I almost unsubscribed. Malcolm, this is our channel. We'll talk about potatoes for 15 minutes if we want to. We're going to talk about whatever we want to. This is Steelers talk, but at the end of the day, this is our channel. We'll do a whole segment on women's college basketball if we want to.
No, we're not going to. All right, guys, so we got a special promotion today, Super Chat promotion. We're up to $121 in Super Chat revenue, and today we are raffling off this Steelers Real One sign here. Perfect for your man cave, perfect for your woman cave, whatever you got. We're putting a bunch of names on there. It's going to be great, guys. So if you want a chance to win that sign, any Super Chat's going to get your name on the sign. $5 is going to buy you 1 slot. $10 is going to get you 3 slots.
And
$20 is going to get you 8.
A reminder, stick around to the end because I want to make sure whoever's here or whoever wins the raffle is here. So Anthony Fuller, DRB, Jordy, Not Webb's World, Nona, King Confidence, Austin Tardif.
Make sure you're
here.
Make sure you're here because we need to get your info.
Later, Malcolm. Have fun.
Hey, Browns report Super Chat revenue from this week's live show, $167. Okay, right now we're at $121. $50 super chat gets us over the limit. Oh, my. Guys, we're close.
We can't lose to the Browns.
We can't lose to the freaking Brownies. Are you kidding me? The doo-doo Browns? No way. We have to beat these guys. We're less than, what, 45? No, so a $50 super chat would get it done. All right, so if someone wants to put in a 50, you're going to get those extra tickets. If you put in a 50, we'll give you 30 slots.
Or if everybody just put in $1 or $5 and got one ticket.
That's true. That's true. If we got a bunch of $5, like right now, we could get there, guys. We got to beat them. We cannot end this stream.
And you know what?
Losing to the Browns. We just can't.
We don't just raffle things off on this channel.
That's right.
We don't just talk about women's college basketball on this channel. We also talk about Steelers on this channel.
That's right.
Next segment, Sperry's top trade candidates for your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Omar Khan, man.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Khan's been making moves. And, man, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if someone gets traded here before or during the NFL draft. I got 4 names that could be on their way out. You got to stick around to see who that is. We got a $10 super chat from DJV. Thank you so much, my guy. He says, would you love or hate trading Highsmith in the second round to trade up for Tyree Wilson or Van Ness? Yeah, I probably would hate that, to be honest with you. I think Alex Highsmith is a really good player. I think he's on the up and up. And, although Tyree Wilson and Van Ness are, they're fine players. Tyree Wilson, by the way, is a much better prospect than Van Ness. But at the end of the day, Highsmith is what we would be hoping Tyree or Van Ness would end up becoming. 14.5 sacks last year. I mean, this guy is incredible. He's got that really great spin move. It's one of the best in the National Football League. He gets to the quarterback and a lot. He picked up the slack when TJ was out injured last year. I don't think I would trade up. I don't think I would use him as a trade piece.
Yeah, but for those two, targets, I like Tyree Wilson a ton more than Van Ness. Van Ness, I think he has the body, he has the build. He doesn't have the skill set, in my opinion.
He doesn't have the experience too. He still needs a little bit of time in the oven.
Yeah,
like he's got, he's fast for his size. He's an absolute tank. But so is Tyree Wilson. Like Tyree Wilson is kind of like the same physical profile as Van Ness, only he's way more refined. His bull rush is, in my opinion, the best in this class.
I like this comment from Batista. He said, I think Highsmith is way overrated. His stats weren't impressive when TJ was out. Look at the stats when TJ was out, seriously. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, whenever he might not be on and I'm not even going to say he might not be. He's not on TJ Watt's level.
No, he's not.
So whenever TJ Watt was out, Alex Highsmith was getting double teamed, triple teamed. So should he be paid like a top 5 edge rusher?
No.
I don't think so.
Definitely not.
But I think he's still one of the best edge rushers he's a top 30 edge rusher for sure in the league. Like
he's a really good player. He gets to quarterbacks when he gets those one-on-one opportunities. He's a really good player.
Every team that runs a 3-4 would love to have Alex Highsmith as their starting outside linebacker.
There's some teams that would give up a first-round pick for Alex Highsmith. Maybe not like in the top 20, but one of those later round teams, they would give up a first-rounder for Alex Highsmith. No doubt about it. All right, we're getting some super chats. Let's go. We got DJV with another $5 super chat, another ticket for DJV. Completely agree, brother. If you could trade up and take anyone, what are you doing? Probably trading up. I'll probably give up. So if I'm trading up for a left tackle. That's what I'm doing. That's the only thing I'm trading up for. If let's say Paris Johnson Jr. goes to the Bears at 9 and Skoronski goes to the Eagles at 10. Then if there's a team in that 11 to 16 range that'd be willing to trade up, I am probably taking that deal.
You know who would be willing to trade back? I'm guessing the Texans at 12.
Yeah, man. Oh my goodness, that might work. That might really work. God, I'm gonna have to think about that. And maybe even do a mock draft on that, because that'd be an interesting mock draft. It really would.
Austin Tardif.
Austin, my dude.
More tickets. 3 more tickets. Stick around to the end to see if you win. 3 more
tickets, my guy.
Stick around.
You might get another prize, Austin. Do you see Omar trading future draft picks to get back into this draft or grab a player? So does he mean back into the first round? I'm not sure what he means by that. Do you see Omar trading?
I think back into the first round.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that happening, man. Like, especially if it means getting a guy like Jordan Addison. Like, let's say you get Broderick Jones at 17, just hypothetical. And Jordan Addison's there 22, 23, 24, right before that Giants pick. Because I think if Addison's there at 25, the Giants are going to take him.
Yeah.
They need a receiver.
And then 3 tickets for my guy,
Strick Fit, my guy.
Hey, Swole.
Let's go.
Mr. Swole, Strick Fit. I'm still waiting on that boot. He said he could beat me in a boot race.
Yes.
Still waiting on it.
Strick Fit. We're still waiting on that boot, my friend.
Hey, but I do know, I bet you Strick Fit benches more than me. Look at that guy.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
Look at that guy.
I'm not going to lie. When Strick Fit puts in comments, like on individual videos, I'm like particularly polite to him because I don't want him to like hunt me down.
You're right.
Like,
you totally disagree with what he said. Totally, Strick Fit. I love that idea.
You're so smart. Strick Fit, man. You're a real one. You watch every single video. You're always in the comments section. Appreciate the $10 super chat. You are now entered to win this Steelers Talk Real One sign.
DJV.
Dude, DJV, man. I haven't seen you super chat before.
Our guy.
Man, you're getting in the chat today.
And I do have to say, we are $6 away from beating the Browns report. F the Browns.
$6? That's it.
Let's go.
Guys,
F the Browns.
One more $10 super chat, and we beat the Browns, guys. We just can't end this stream by losing to the Browns. We just can't.
Hey,
that's not what Steelers fans do.
DJV said, it's my first time, brother, but I watch every video. That's a real one right there.
DJV, I appreciate you, my guy. You're a real one. Thank you so much, man. You actually have a really good shot at walking away with this Steelers.
You know who has a great
time,
shot
man.
of walking away with it?
We got another super chat coming in here, $5 from Not Webb's World, who says, outside of smacking my man at the combine, is Thule insurance if they can't extend Alex because he's not really a DT, he's really a defensive end. Yeah, and the
only thing is, Alex Highsmith plays the outside linebacker position.
Yes.
I don't know if Thule can play that.
So Thule is like 290 pounds.
Yeah.
He weighs more than Kalijah Cansey, the defensive tackle prospect out of Pitt. Okay, like this guy, I think he's too heavy to play outside linebacker.
Let's go! All
right, we're going to fit. Yeah, let's go, man. Okay, so we got more super chats to get to in just a second. I want to answer this question real quick to Now Webb's World. I think that if the Steelers, I just don't see him as a fit, man. I just don't, because if you're drafting him, you're drafting him to be that 5 technique. You just paid Larry Ogunjobi 3-year contract. Like, I just don't see that as a potential fit. I mean, if he falls in the draft and you want to get an additional like defensive end, sure. But I mean, I just don't see him falling, and I just don't see the fit here because the Steelers run a 3-4. Now, what they could do is if they draft him, they put him in as a rotational pass rusher for their nickel sets, because in those nickel sets, they have 4 down linemen. Mm-hmm. Thule could work there. Yeah. He could work in the nickel set. So if they draft him early, it's because they want a rotational pass rusher in those nickel sets. I think Thule would be one hell of a nickel defensive end. Austin. We got more. We keep getting more here. Austin with another 5 says at any point in the draft, doesn't have to be first round, trading back in. Okay. So he was clarifying his earlier question. Gotcha.
You know what? And because they have 32 already, I could see them, with the 49th pick, correct, in the second round?
Yep.
I could see them, if there's a third guy they really like, maybe 10 spots ahead of their 49th pick, I could see them trading up in the second round.
Get the corner that they like.
Yeah.
Get the corner they like.
Somehow Deontay Banks or somebody falls. Rob Carney!
Rob Carney coming in with a $20 super chat. I think it's his first one ever, too.
Let's go. I'll get the
Rob,
ready.
Welcome to the super chat club, my friend. Oh, let's get this super chat up here. We got a 20-piece, and we have officially passed Cleveland Browns report. PD, the Browns can suck it.
Let's go.
Oh, we got another 20. Anthony Fuller.
DJV, he said, we beat him, baby.
We beat him.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's another ticket. That's another ticket,
my man. Thank you so much, man. You've been a huge help today.
Rob Carney, first time super chat.
First timer. Let's go, Rob.
Woo!
We got this, baby. All right, so we're gonna add your name to the middle here, Rob. You got a 20.
Just adding some insult to injury. Your Highness, Anthony Fuller.
Oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
I just want the Browns to know they suck.
You hear that, Petey? The Browns suck.
FPD. FPD. FPD.
F the Browns. F the Browns. Let's go. 50 for a beer ball. Oh, Chase Sr., Eagles and 49ers host, just came out here and said for a 50-piece, so a $50 super chat, he will do a beer bong.
And if you put in 50, I'm going to go ahead and rack up those tickets for you as well.
Yes, if you put in a 50, we'll give you 30 slots.
I believe that's how the math works.
All right, so if you put in a 50-piece, you get 30 slots to win the Steelers Talk Real One sign. And then Chase Sr., a native Philadelphia Eagles fan, is going to come on here, and he's going to do a beer bong for you. Let's go!
And so going back to this, because we kind of screamed in the middle of Austin's question, I could see them trading up at some point in the draft.
I could see them doing anything. I could see them trading back if those offensive tackle prospects aren't there. And let's say like Jackson Smith and Jigba, Say Flowers, and Jordan Addison are still there. They might trade back a couple spots, try to get some more capital there, because they don't have any picks in rounds 5 or 6. They might try to get a couple picks in there. All right, guys, like I said, $50 super chat. Actually, you know what?
Wow. Our Eagles host.
Oh, what is going on?
Our Eagles host who laid the challenge down, he said he'll do a shotgun right now for a $50 super chat.
I thought he said beer bong.
I think he said shotgun.
I think he said beer bong.
Either way.
He said beer bong.
Either way, he's slamming a beer. He's stoking the fire right now.
Dude, he is literally in the chat right now calling you guys scared. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it, guys?
Let him know. Hey, let him know who the best team in Pennsylvania is.
Dude, this is a local Pennsylvanian Eagles fan. All right, you can make him. You can inflict some punishment on him right now by putting in a $50 super chat.
Hey, it's all bark, no bite.
You can say that again, man.
They're all bark, no bite.
By the way.
Oh!
Anthony Fuller!
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
King Yinzer
Let's
himself!
go, Anthony!
Anthony Fuller with a $50 super chat!
Let's go, Anthony!
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go! We're up to $226 in super chat revenue. And you know what? You know what we're gonna go for today? We're gonna beat the Dolphins this week. We're gonna beat the Dolphins.
We're halfway there.
We're halfway there, guys. Dolphins today got $499 in super chat revenue. And you know what? Will Scott was telling me today that there is a 0% chance that the Steelers live stream makes it to 500 today. That's what he was telling me.
Chase!
And Chase, we
get
need Chase in here. Let's go. Anthony, man, I'm telling you, Anthony Fuller, he knows how to sense the moment, my guy. Like every time we need a big moment, he's always there to come in the clutch. Woo!
I mistyped.
Oh man! So we got Chase Sr. currently preparing. I can't remember if he's doing a beer bong or a beer shotgun, but he's coming in here, baby.
I'm getting.
You're getting slacks.
Yes, because I forgot the R in shirtless.
Shitless. Very, very, very nice there, Chuggs. All right, we got the beer bong. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We got Chase Sr. coming on here, native Pennsylvanian. Gonna do a beer bong for y'all.
Did you get, lung cancer today?
Me?
You sound like you just smoked 100 cigarettes.
I'm dehydrated, bro. All right, here we go.
Shout out to the 6'10".
This is for you, King Yinzer.
Fun fact, Chase is actually 5'6".
Yeah, Chase is actually the office midget.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty nice.
Our Raiders Report host saying he'll do a beer boot.
Oh.
A beer boot for 100?
100? Okay, so our Raiders host, Mitchell Renz, has just put in the chat for $100 super chat. He's going to come on here and do a boot.
If you don't know what a beer boot is, it's 3 beers and 1 glass boot.
3 beers, 1 glass boot. And man, that's a great deal.
Anthony Fuller has a great chance of winning.
Anthony Fuller has 30 slots. At least, no, he has a couple 20s as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if you want to win this Steelers Talk Live sign, Anthony Fuller's got a ton of slots. You're going to have to get in there right now. Get those 20s in if you want a shot to win that sign. So I'm telling you right now, guys, things are starting to get nuts. And you know what, guys? Okay, so Chuggs, let's make a deal here with Steeler Nation. What are we doing if we pass Dolphins today in Super Chat revenue? What should we do?
You said you would do a water boot.
No, I said if we break the Steelers Talk record, which would be 1.3.
I mean, I'm down to do a shot fun.
All right. Let's do it. So if we get to $500 in Super Chat revenue, so we're about halfway there.
Trey knows. No one does a boot like I do.
No. Oh, yeah. Chuggs is the king of boots, man. I'm telling you. Like, no one else can do it under 10 seconds here in the offense. Chuggs did it in 8 seconds last week. Like, what the hell, man?
All right. Hey, so while we let everybody mull on that, we actually have another segment we got to get to.
Yes, we do. We got one more segment. I got 4 Steelers that could still be traded before the NFL draft. Can't wait to share that with you guys. Remember, guys, $100 super chat.
DJV said someone needs AA.
Oh my gosh, Chase Sr.'s back in the chat. And he says $50 and he'll do another one.
Talking shit.
Dude, like these guys have no respect for Steeler Nation, man. These guys have no respect for the Yinzers.
None.
I mean, $100, Mitchell Renz is going to come do a beer boot, and then another $50, Chase Sr. is going to come on and do another beer bong for y'all. Mull that over, talk with your wife, see if it works financially.
Oh, my God.
And get back to us,
Let's get to this segment. You ready, Sperry?
I'm ready, man. Let's get into some trade targets for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. What's good, Steeler Nation? My name is Jack Sperry, and this is Steelers Talk. Welcome into the show. Today, I'm going to be listing 4 trade candidates for the Pittsburgh Steelers that could still be dealt before the 2023 NFL Draft. Before I get into my list today, predict it for me. Name a Steeler that you think gets traded this year in the offseason. It could be anybody. It could be Mitch Trubisky, whoever you want. Let me know a Steeler that you think gets traded before the NFL Draft. Number 1 on my list is Mason Cole, the center. Now, a lot of people are expecting Mason Cole to be the starting center for the Steelers next year, and he might be. But here's the thing, guys. The Steelers have signed multiple interior offensive linemen in free agency, and they are still actively looking at a ton of center prospects in this year's NFL Draft. What does that tell me? That tells me that the Steelers are looking to eventually replace Mason Cole as the center of the Steelers. There's a rumor going around that James Daniels, who played center in college, could be moving to play center this year. And then you could start Nate Herbig and Isaac Seumalo at your 2 guard spots. So does this make Cole a trade piece? I certainly think that the discussion is worth having. You take a look at how he played last season. Over 1,000 snaps, 67.1 overall grade, which isn't bad. That's about league average, okay? Pass blocking grade, 63.8, certainly not fantastic. And then his run block grade was a 66.5. And when you take a look at the Steelers' offensive line right now, I think that Mason Cole is just kind of the odd man out, in my opinion. I think that Mason Cole is built to be more of a zone corner. He's more athletic. He's a bit smaller. I think he fits more with the zone system, and that's why they brought him in the first place. Matt Canada likes, or at least he used to like to run a zone offensive scheme in the run game. Mike Tomlin has forced his hand a little bit. They're shifting to more of a power run game, which is why they brought in guys like Nate Herbig and Isaac Seumalo. Mason Cole weighs less than 300 pounds, guys. He's more of an athletic, rangy type of athletic corner that's more suited for zone blocking, outside zones, that sort of thing. I think the Steelers want to do more straight line, smash mouth type of football next year. Mason Cole doesn't necessarily fit that description, at least in my opinion. Now, it seems like Mike Tomlin is going to have an open competition in camp. It's certainly possible that he wins the starting job outright in camp if he's just the best performing center. He could be putting on weight this offseason to accommodate the new scheme. That's certainly possible, but it seems like that the team not only adding very, very versatile interior offensive lineman in free agency, but also looking at guys like John Michael Schmitz in the draft. I just think that it's very possible that the Pittsburgh Steelers draft another O-lineman here. It could be a center. It could be John Michael Schmitz. I mean, I've been saying for weeks, I think they should draft an offensive tackle, but with the way that they are scouting interior offensive linemen, it certainly wouldn't surprise me to see the Steelers trade Mason Cole for maybe a day 3 pick, maybe like round 5 or round 6, depending on which team is taking that call. So if you haven't already, make sure you do me a favor and click that subscribe button. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. Oh, no, this is the Steelers draft channel. This is my bad. So we actually have a brand new channel here at Chat Sports. It's completely centered around the NFL draft. If you love NFL draft content just as much as I do, guys, and you want videos every single day, you want prospect analysis, prospect rankings, prospect interviews, and almost daily NFL mock drafts, this is going to be the channel for you guys. The link is in the comments and the description. Make sure that you go give that a subscribe today, and then put Yinzers or Steelers in the comments section to let us know that the Yinzers are representing on that channel. Next on my list here, Kevin Dotson. And here's the thing, guys. I think that he is really the odd man out. I think they'll probably keep Mason Cole. If anybody's going to get traded, I think it's probably going to be this guy, and it's going to be for a late-round pick. The Steelers have signed multiple interior offensive linemen, Nate Herbig, Isaac Seumalo. They've got multiple guys that are starter capable, and they might be adding another one in the draft. So I think that Kevin Dotson, at least in my opinion, is the most likely to get dealt, probably for an additional 7th-round pick, because I think that's probably what he's worth. Kevin Dotson, maybe not the best offensive guard in the National Football League, but he's played in a lot of games. He's somebody that has been a starter in this league. If there's a team that really needs a starting capable offensive guard, he could be dealt in the coming weeks. You take a look at his performance last season. His pass block grade was actually pretty decent, 77.6. So for those teams out there that pass the ball a lot, that need a good pass protecting offensive guard, Kevin Dotson may be their guy, but run blocking, certainly not his thing. Especially power blocking is kind of not his thing. So I think he's definitely becoming the odd man out right now, and it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever to see him on another team in 2023. So get in the comments right now and tell me, which one are you keeping here? Are you keeping Mason Cole or Kevin Dotson? Type MC if you want to keep Mason Cole, or if you'd rather stick with Kevin Dotson and keep him, type KD in the comments section. All right, so now we're moving on here to number 3, Alex Highsmith. Now, I'm going to start this by saying I don't want Alex Highsmith to be gone. But, however, it does make some sense to potentially trade him. He's entering the last year of his rookie deal. He's going to be expecting a big payday after a breakout season in 2022. And listen, guys, right now if you sign him, you could probably get him for even less than you would if you waited a year. And I think that the Steelers really like him and they want to bring him back. But would the Steelers potentially trade him while his stock is high? Because you could make an argument that somebody with a missed tackle rate that he has, it's higher than it probably should be. But, he had 14.5 sacks, which drives up his value. So is a team willing to maybe send another first-round pick to Pittsburgh if it means getting Alex Highsmith? You take a look at what the Steelers are working with right now. TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, when they were on the field at the same time last year, they had one of the best pass rushes in the National Football League. I think they're still looking for that rotational piece to come in on third downs and in their nickel sets. But in my opinion, guys, I think that this is maybe the best pass rushing duo in the National Football League when they're on the field at the same time. I think the Steelers recognize that, and I think they want to get a deal done. Now, Spotrac says that his market value is going to be 4 years, $55.6 million total. So that'd be about $13.9 million per season. I think this is a bit low. I think that Alex Highsmith is probably asking for at least $20 million per season right now, which would pay him at a top 10 rate among NFL edge rushers. Now, is he worth that? That's up for you to decide. I think he's pretty darn good, but top 10, I'm not too sure. And I think the Steelers would rather go like top 15, maybe give him like $15 million per year. Marcus Davenport this year signed with the Minnesota Vikings. He received a 1-year, $13 million deal, guys. And if you take a look at these two stats from last season, these two don't even compare. 63 tackles to only 29, 12 tackles for loss to only 2, 14 and a half sacks to only a half sack, and Marcus Davenport is getting $13 million. Like Alex Highsmith, compared to Marcus Davenport, should be making 30, right? But at the end of the day, I think Alex Highsmith, with the production that he's having, he's going to want at least 20, and he might actually be asking for more than that right now. I think it's very possible, or in my opinion, I don't think the Steelers should trade Highsmith. I think that he's a very, very valuable piece to this defense. I think you already know that when you have TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, you have this duo on the field. This is one of the best pass rushes in the National Football League. I don't think the Steelers want to mess with that. I certainly think that he's going to be a Steeler next season. But you be the GM here. Would you trade Highsmith for a first-round pick, type Y if you would, or type N if you wouldn't? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And the last guy on my list here, Deontay Johnson. Now, this guy might be the least likely to be dealt on this list, but I still think it's possible because I think you could make an argument that it makes sense to trade him for a high draft pick. He was in a lot of trade rumors last season. He was in a couple trade rumors earlier this offseason. And later on, or earlier on this season, the Steelers already dealt Chase Claypool. So it seems like Omar Khan is willing to let go of some receivers if he feels like it's going to improve this team. And could Johnson be traded if the Steelers draft a wide receiver early in the 2023 draft? I certainly think it's possible. I think that a team that's been linked to Deontay Johnson is the Houston Texans. If they're willing to give the Steelers the 12th overall pick in exchange for Johnson and a second-round pick, I think that works out really nicely for the Steelers because that puts you in a great position to take a left tackle at number 12 overall, and then you're in a great spot at number 17 to maybe get Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers or a really great receiver to replace Deontay Johnson. You take a look at this trade idea here. This is probably what it's going to take to get it done. I think the Texans would probably want that first pick in the second round in order to make this deal happen. Deontay Johnson, somebody that gets open more than just about anybody in the National Football League, would be a great addition for a team that is about to add a really young quarterback prospect in the NFL draft. It's either going to be Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. Adding a guy like Deontay Johnson that's always going to be open for them, give them that safety blanket. It's going to be huge for that young QB. The Texans might look into doing something like this. And you could also say that Deontay Johnson if he was in this draft class, he might go number 1. He is an extremely good route runner. He is proven in the National Football League. His contract is a little bit pricey, I think, for what his value truly is. I'm not sure if he's a true number 1 receiver, but man, he is one heck of a 2, and he's right on that fence there between number 1 receiver and number 2 receiver. I think he's really darn good. It's going to have to take a lot to get him away from Pittsburgh, especially given how much Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin like this guy. And at the end of the day, I don't think it happens, but I think it is something interesting worth thinking about. So like this video right now if you want a Steelers mock draft with a Deontay Johnson trade. I need to show my bosses that this is something that you guys want. So if you want a Steelers mock draft where Deontay Johnson is heading to the Houston Texans, do me a favor, click that thumbs up icon right now. All right, we got another super chat from Not Webb's World here, and this is what he has to say. If the Steelers draft Branch and Addison and you raffle their rookie jerseys, $300 super chat from Saving Up the Coins for that raffle. Getting ready to drop a rack. That's how much I believe in them.
Let's go.
All right, man.
I think we can make something like this happen.
I think for our draft stream, I don't know if it'll be for day 1 or day 2 of the draft because we have limited studio space here. But whenever we go live during the draft, we're probably going to do a jersey raffle for whoever goes round 1.
And I do have to say this.
I'm not making any promises right now because it's not confirmed. But man, I think that'd be a pretty darn good promotion.
I do have to say this. We're about to give some Twitter shout-outs. I'm about to start the wheel. This is your last chance to get in on the raffle. I'm about to set up the wheel right now. This is your last chance to get in on the raffle. Well, I set up the raffle.
Let's do a shot clock here because the offer still stands for the boot. $100 super chat gets us a boot, and a $50 gets us a beer bong from Chase Senior. All right, so if you want to see those things happen and you want to get a ton of slots for today's we got Twitter shout-outs here. Thank you to everybody that followed me on Twitter. Alex Duarte, GT McLean, Go Blue Buckeye, Rick, Liam Rich, Melvis, Paul Klein, Bruce Van Dyne, Kyle J. White, officially Kenny Pickett season. Thank you guys so much. We got more coming up here. We got a ton of people followed on Twitter this week, guys, so stick with me here. Kobe Kuntz, Trent, Jimmy Cool, Joseph Collison, Gamer Dude, Jimmy Burris, SMT64, Carl Stadler, Tyler, Tyrone Morrow, Bryson Gatos, Uncle Mark Soul Food, Fayetteville, Georgia. Nice plug there, my guy. Shay the Chemist, Big Norega, the Not So Serious Gamer, Kevin Hunter, Luke Brell, Novik, Dasmoit, Mr. 865, DJ Broyles, Marty Kozlowski, Rohal Shazad, Sonny Sachs, nice name, Wilbert Matthews, Jake Green, Wayne Williamson, 3H3, John Carter, Just Oham, BET Ice, and Billy the Warrior. Guys, you are the reason why that I have a job here. You guys are the reason why we have the amount of success that we have here on Steelers Talk, so I extremely appreciate your support for me and the channel. All right, guys, we are coming close to the end here. Let me know in the comments section, would you trade Alex Highsmith for a first-round pick? Chuggsy, do we want to put a shot clock on here for... Okay, so we got a minute here. We got a minute shot clock. A $100 super chat is going to get us a beer boot from Mitchell Renz. $50 will get you a beer bong from Chase Sr. And, of course, you get those raffle tickets to win this awesome Steelers Talk Real One signed by your fellow Yinzers and, of course, yours truly. We're going to have Jeremy Chuggs, Trace Gerard, and Jack Lauderay sign it as well for you. Whole Steelers Talk team. So last chance here, guys. 30 seconds. We've done a great job today. $276 in Super Chat revenue, but we can do better here. We got 20 seconds here. If someone needs extra time, just let me know in the chat. But we're about to get this raffle going here, man. Oh! Randy Taylor with a $50 super chat. Let's go.
Let's go.
So line it up, senior. All right, we got a 50 here from Randy Taylor. First time super chat here, Chug. So get that sticker up, can.
Oh, let's go.
Appreciate you, Randy. He says, trade Deontay in next year's second for a first this year and have 3 first-rounders. Oof. I mean, see, the thing is, I'm not sure if this is the draft you want 3 first-rounders in. Like, next year's draft is supposed to be absolutely loaded. Like, I'm not sure if I want to give up future draft capital. This year's draft is actually kind of considered to be a lower level draft class. So I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that, Randy, but man, really do appreciate your $50 super chat. We're going to have Chase Sr. come in here and get that beer boot, or not the beer boot, the beer bong going for you before we do the Peeps challenge.
I just put all of your tickets in there, Randy.
Dude, that's 30 tickets for y'all. All right, Chase Sr. coming in now, getting ready to down it. Boo. All right, man. He's got the beer bong ready for you.
Boo.
Randy Taylor. Randy Taylor. Legend.
Wow.
Woo!
He actually puts it all the way down his throat.
Relax.
Let's go.
Go Birds.
All right.
All right. And then one more thing.
All right, Chuggsy, what do you got?
We get going.
All right, so before we get going here, we got Peeps here. We got a whole box of Peeps. Right now we're at 125 likes. No, let's do the raffle first. Yeah. We're going to do the raffle first. Okay. We're up to $326 in Super Chat. We've done a great job. Look at that beautiful wheel. Now Webb's World getting another slot at the last second.
Getting in one more.
All right, so let me answer this question here, and then we'll get to the raffle. Again, the offer still stands. $100 Super Chat. We got a beer boot. So, I mean, if Anthony Fuller wants to provide another magical moment,
all right,
I guess we'll see.
He said if we trade up in the draft and all our picks hit, we will be in position to draft BPA next year, 100%.
That is true.
100%.
That is true.
All right, if you're ready for me to spin the wheel, spam spin in the comment section right now.
Spam spin. Let's go, fellas.
If you're ready.
Let's go. Somebody's going to walk away with this sign. Let's go.
Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
All right, let's spin that wheel.
We only have two people. Anthony Fuller, strict fit. Okay, there we go. Randy Taylor. Let's go. Who else wants me to spin that wheel?
Come on, get
Who else wants me to spin the wheel?
Let's go.
All right.
Let's get it. So ready? I'm going to count you down. 5, 4, 3.
Here we go.
Who's walking away with that sign, baby?
Who's going to win it?
Come on. And... oh, I don't know who it is.
Not Webb's World!
Let's go!
Let's go!
A true real one here for the Steelers Talk Nation.
It was almost Anthony Fuller and it was almost Randy Taylor. Those are the two that passed right by.
Guys, just want to thank everybody that super chatted today. It's been another awesome raffle. Now Webb's World, need to make sure that you stick around here. We're going to get your shipping information so we can get this sign out to you.
Hey, message Jack at Jack_Sperry, not Webb's World.
Do you have a Twitter? Let us know.
Not Webb's World, at Jack_Sperry.
Yep.
If you have a Twitter, that's probably the easiest way to do it.
My DMs are open.
Hey.
All right, so now don't leave yet, guys. Don't leave yet. We got the Peeps challenge to do here. We're going to put another minute on the clock here. If you haven't liked the video, you got to make sure you do it. All right, because every 20 likes we get, we're adding a Peep to a Chubby Bunny total here. Right now, Chuggs and I have 6, but if we get 11 more likes, we are going to get one more to that total. We can get 11 more. We got 87 people in the chat. Let's get that total up. Oh, nice. Now Webb's World just sent in another $2. He says, sign secured, Addison jersey coming soon. All right, man. Guess we'll have to see on that one. All right, so we got 129. Jeremy is on a chair right now. I have a chair. I have a chair.
King in the castle.
King in the castle.
And I think it's actually perfect because it comes with 12, right?
I think so.
So I think 6 and 6?
No, it comes with 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll have to open up one more.
We'll have to open up one more package. All right, so right now we're at 130 likes. If we can get 10 more likes, we're gonna add another one. We're gonna make it 7, but right now we got 6.
Oh, we need to open up one more, baby.
Yep.
Oh, be careful. You got.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is gonna be weird. Come on. Chuggs, do you like Peeps?
Not necessarily.
Me neither. All right. Just add that to your total. All right.
You ready?
These things are pretty big too, guys. Like,
That's what she said.
dude. All right. So we're gonna start. Here we go. Oh no.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny.
Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Chubby Bunny. Mm. Mm. so much sugar. Oh, the Peeps are like dusted and that was not fun, guys. Not at all. Ugh. Yeah. There we go. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's Steelers Talk live show. Oh, my hands are completely covered now, but appreciate all the real ones in the chat. Put real one down in the chat right now. If you put real one, I will give you a shout out. If you made it all the way to the end of the show, type real one. I want to see where my true Yinzers are at here. All right, Steven Amaditz. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, my guy. Appreciate you. DJ KJ's been here since, I think he was the first one in the chat. He's a real one. Strickfit is a real one. Who else is a real one? Let me know in the chat right now. I'll give you a quick shout out before we go. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that as well. Not Webb's World, getting the sign. Steve Young, James Doherty, Naquan Roll, James Doherty, John. You guys are the true Yinzers, my man. All right. Randy Taylor, appreciate you, my guy. Shout out to Anthony Fuller, Randy Taylor. Shout out to Not Webb's World, Austin Tardif, all the guys that got in the chat today, everybody that super chatted. You guys are why this show is so awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.